Hi guys, I'm wearing my monk's outfit again, but I'm actually not too religious, but I do believe in God and I'm open, to all religious beliefs. I respect, well, let's put it this way, I do respect all beliefs and I do respect all people. But then that leads to some misunderstandings, especially with Muslims, because I have many Muslim friends and I do cherish them, but since they see me acting that way, they always try to convert me. And usually I don't like bringing up this topic, and I don't like talking about Islam, and I don't, especially I don't like criticizing Islam because it's a difficult subject, and Islam isn't just one thing. There, just like with other religions, there are so many people who believe various things and various denominations. So it's actually very complex, and it's also a very difficult subject. So I usually try to avoid it, and I also don't. I also try to avoid endorsing or criticizing Islam, because that always leads to misunderstandings. But I feel there is one thing I have to do, and this is what I'm trying to do now, and it's giving a little feedback. I wanna give some feedback, both to Muslims who try to convert people, as well as to maybe Christians who try to talk to Muslims and try to convert them, because I feel that both of you guys have maybe done it the wrong way, and there is a much more effective method of doing that, and that's what I want to demonstrate, because typically it goes like this. So one of my Muslim friends, would typically approach me and say something like, "Hey, Emmanuel, you believe in God, right? Yeah. Well, then you should convert to Islam." "But if I already believe in God, why should I believe in Allah?" "Because Allah is the same God you believe in, and Islam is the religion of all prophets." "Yeah, but what if I believe in the Bible? I mean, I'm not very good at following it, but I I do think overall it's a good thing, right? It's a good book." "Well, even better, because Allah is also the God who wrote the Bible, and the God of all the prophets, and of all the prophets in the Bible. He inspired all of them. And Allah is the God of the Torah, and the Torah, and the Injil, and the Gospel, and the Psalms. And he's the God of all of those books in the Bible. "Well, that's great. So, but then why can't I just you know, believe in the God I already believe in, and try to follow the Bible? Well, why do I have to become a Muslim then? Wouldn't I already, by your definition, wouldn't I already be a Muslim?" "No, no, you're not a Muslim, and you're believing in the wrong God, and you're believing in the wrong book." "But you just said your God is the same God, and who has written the same books." "Yes, but those books are corrupt now, so you must not follow them. And also, you can't follow Jehovah, you must follow Allah instead." "But you just said it's the same God, with the same books, and..." "Yes, it's the same God with the same books, but his name actually isn't Jehovah at all. It's Allah, and all the things written in those books, they're all wrong, and only the Quran is correct. So that's why you need to become a Muslim." "But then, if it's a God with a different name and with different commandments, because you're saying the commandments in the Bible are actually wrong, right? You're saying the Bible is corrupt. So actually, it's not the same God. He has a different name, and he has different commandments. So how can it be the same God then?" Well, it is the same God. It's just his name is different, and his commandments and requirements are different because all you know about him is totally wrong and totally corrupt, including even his name. His name is not Jehovah, it's Allah, and his requirements are totally different from what's written in the Bible. But other than that, it's the same guy. But if everything about him is different, how can it be the same guy? Well, like I said, everything you know about him is wrong and corrupted. And that's why you need to follow Allah and the Quran. But if you're saying that his revelations become corrupt, then why should I follow the Quran? Because how do I know that the Quran won't become corrupt? No, the Quran will never become corrupt because Allah protects it from corruption. It will never be corrupt. It will be eternally perfect and perfectly preserved because Allah himself protects it from any corruption. But wait a minute, if Allah is able to protect his revelations from any corruption, then why didn't he protect his previous revelations to his previous prophets from corruption and allowed them to become utterly corrupt, as you claim? Yeah, and it's at that point that the Muslims usually become very angry and don't have any response anymore and walk away. And yeah, I lost some friends that way, so I don't advise arguing like that with Muslims who are your friends. But in other cases, it seems to be something that they don't have an answer to. So I'm just bringing this up, for Muslims to, maybe think about that. So, so that next time anyone argues like that, you'll have an answer for it. And maybe also for Christians who talk to Muslims, because usually when Muslims claim that the Bible would be corrupt, Christians just say no, the Bible isn't corrupt, and they would get into an argument. But that's not very effective. I would advise you, if you're a Christian talking to Muslims, try using the approach I just showed you, and you'll realize that they'll run out of arguments pretty quickly. So maybe, both for the Muslims and the Christians, maybe think about that approach and think about what your response would be. So just a little suggestion. It's just something to think about.